Intuit's like one of the most legendary American companies of all time. Wow, Intuit's up a bunch since I last looked at it. Around a 200 million market cap, 200 billion market cap from 100 something billion last time I looked at it. To be exact, 110 to 170. But these guys have TurboTax, MailChimp, all that stuff. Gotta respect Intuit. So tax season plays this like crazy seasonality for Intuit. You can see the revenue. I barely even look at charts. I'm thinking like a private equity guy, right? So everyone trades differently, right? And that's fine. Everyone trades differently. You can make money in technical analysis. It's just not my method, right? So my method is similar to what Carlyle, I like Roblox. So my method is similar to what Carlyle or Berkshire would do, which is, you know, would I buy this business today? And for the price that it's trading at. It's not my job to look at a stock chart and see, can I quickly buy or sell some stock and take advantage of some psychological phenomenon in the marketplace. That's not really what I want to make a living doing either, if you think about it. It's not really a sustainable way to make a living for me, at least. It is for others, of course. But for me, I want to grow up to the point where, like Buffett, I have to buy the company and own it and run it forever. And I've done that before in pharma. So for me, the best analysis is that, not so much like, oh, will this stock go up tomorrow, or will it go down tomorrow, or whatever. Like that to me is like not really that interesting, because the only way to make a living off that is to either be extremely good at it so that you make high returns, or you manage other people's money, which I don't really want to do. I tried it, I didn't like it. I wasn't even that good at it. So for me, the M&A form of investing is very enjoyable. I'm good at it. And you can scale it really big. And you need to find a milieu where you can survive, a setting where you will survive. Because otherwise, if you pick a setting that like you're prone to disaster in, like trading is easy to screw up. Most traders lose money, especially retail, because you double down on a stock. There's so many little mistakes you can make, and before you know it, your account's gone. You may be better off, you know, with a different form of investing. And that's not just for, you know, that's 90% of people can't control their emotions. It's not easy. Roblox is growing revenue, so I'm not sure, you know, what the problem is. Can't fake revenue. Yeah, but look at cash flow. Net income for Roblox is useless for Roblox. Intuit's one of the best software companies ever. Did you know Microsoft tried to buy Intuit? Yeah, I think they may even made a hostel. It's old Microsoft trivia. That's, you want to learn my edge? My edge is history. I want to pay my dues, read. I want to meet every old executive in Intuit who's like 85. I want to go knock on their door at their porch. Who is it? It's me, Martin Shkreli. I'm just a fan of your husband. I just wanted to see if I could talk to him for 5 minutes about his history in business.
Okay, Sonny. Hold on. Joe! There's a boy here to see you, a young boy. He wants to talk to you about business. Tell him I'm not home. He's a sweet boy. Okay, fine.
Sir?
They said you'd be a boy.
I'm 41, sir. Just want to see if I can talk to you for half an hour about Intuit and your history. I brought some cookies.
Cookies?
That's what you got to do. You want to be good. That's what you got to do. Learn the history. Meet the legends. It's easier than you think. Before you know it, he's laughing. And that's what Bill Gates called me, to offer $30 billion to buy Intuit. And I said, Bill, oh, wow, there's a whole story about, wow, look at this. This is beautiful. Stanford did a whole thing on this. Microsoft agreed to purchase Intuit in 1994. Did you guys know that? For $2.3 billion. Look at that, $2.3 billion. It's $170 billion now. $170 billion. This is one of the greatest software companies ever. If you're in software, if you're not in software, you may not care to learn about it. This is a 75 bagger from 1994. 75 bagger. So 1994 is 30 years ago, right? So 7 to the 30th power, you would have made 6 times your money if you invest in the stock market. No, Microsoft doesn't ruin businesses. Microsoft does great. Microsoft grows. Microsoft has some weird management program, man. Like, they find a way to make these businesses grow. LinkedIn has done really well. So I guess Intuit agreed to the deal. I remember they had Microsoft money. This is the guy, Scott Cook. Intuit would have gotten you around a 16% annualized return. 15, 16% annualized return for 30 years. We have to grind, that's mandatory. Did they reclassify some of these things? They played a lot of games reclassifying all their revenue, which every investor loves. My favorite thing, but maybe I just put it in wrong or something. So you have lots of divisions. You might say, oh, well, we moved this software to this division, to that division. Largest non-publicly traded company. Great question. Could be Coke, could be Bloomberg, could be Mars. Maybe it's Mars. Amway, some people say, but I don't think so. Boehringer Ingelheim is up there for sure. Citadel, Renaissance, like some financial firms. Cargill's a good one. Bechtel's a good one. SpaceX is right. That's right. Don't forget SpaceX. Our favorite payment processor. TikTok's up there. Karma business has been a little bit dull. Probably get rid of that ProConnect, ProTax business is my guess. Could be a long, you're saying? Could be a long. Oh, I wrote 105 instead of 405. Sometimes a kitchen sink quarter is what you need. Yeah, the SCOTUS ruling was expected. I'm going to use some other rulings to appeal. And yeah, making $1 billion will cover that and then some. It's what's interesting is it's a state case. The FTC can't get equitable monetary relief. It's a very complicated case. A lot of ways to appeal it. I think light programming will probably be done by AI. Things like Squarespace or whatever. But it's pretty unlikely that AI can replace like really big production systems. Sooner or later. But remember, someone's gotta program those systems too. They're barely useful at the moment, so. But it is getting better. It's kind of, what's amazing about it is it's the worst it'll ever be. That's the best way to think about it. It will never be worse than. And you think about it that way, it's actually very, very impressive. Yeah, so Intuit is this weird mix of businesses. Kind of feels stapled together. They feel really like independent. You've got QuickBooks, which is like a big legacy business, and TurboTax. And then you got these new 2 businesses, MailChimp and Credit Karma. Semiconductor SaaS? I'm not sure what that is. There's semiconductors and there's chips. One's software, one's hardware. So the problem is they just bought MailChimp and it's already had a down quarter, which is really kind of crazy. Looks like Intuit grew just fine, even though tax season was... Oh, great. Look who it is. Look who it is. This is what I got for her. Psst, psst, psst. Come here. Yeah, come up here. I got you something, kitty. Psst, psst, psst. Ready? She smelled the food. She said, I want some. Come on. Look what I got. Look what I got. Wow. That's delicious. Want a little piece? Want a little piece? Wow, QuickBooks Desktop is growing? That seems weird. That's the old product. Maybe they're just raising the prices, trying to force people onto the new product. That's what I would do. All right, cash flow from operations was 4 billion, 5 billion, then 5 billion. 170 billion market cap. 35 times trailing 12 months cash flow. Yeah, Intuit is not cheap. I would avoid it. It's a great company, like I said. Legendary company. Extremely well run. Nothing wrong with it. It's just the price. I don't want to pay that price. No, we give developer interns serious duties. Not a joke. We want them making production software. We put them to work immediately. And we pay really well. We could pay $200,000-300,000 for an intern, annualized salary. It's very competitive out there. Intern has to be extremely gifted developer. I don't care about day-to-day movements in stocks where the major question isn't a day-to-day movement. If I'm trading for a day-to-day movement, that's different. I'll care a lot, but there's volatility in stocks. You know, they go up, they go down. It's really not uncommon. You let a little volatility change your mind about something so important about the company, like does their drug work or not? Intuit could be an okay short. I hate shorting companies I like. It's just business. What's the bear thesis on Chegg? Basically, AI is going to put them out of business. You know, the software's not great either. There are a lot of long-standing questions in software that does this. For example, the software that I make does this, but there's issues. There's always issues with it. Chegg has other businesses. Chegg has the same AI. I mean, there's a lot to that story. It's just not really understood by Wall Street. They just figure it's a lost cause. There's a nice book, believe it or not, Python for Dummies. It's very, very well done. Those Dummies books can be a little weird, but this is the best Dummies book, maybe of all time. And then, if you want to start really slow and get to understand programming from a deep level, you can look at a book called Code by 𝗤𝗓𝗏𝗀𝗀𝗧𝗏𝗏. It takes a very slow route, but it's probably a great place to start. It's more like a really long forward to programming. I think there's a similar book called Hacker's Delight, but I'm not sure if that's the same pace. That might be a faster pace. There's also CS50, pretty good, which is a Harvard course. There's a lot of places to learn. I would go with whatever you're having fun with. It's very important to have fun. If you're not having fun, you know, you're not going to stick to it. It's got to be really enjoyable. All that time, and all we know now is Intuit is not along. Remember Kramer had that button, don't buy, don't buy. All right, RCKT, Rocket, and then Legend. This is a drug company, not a rocket company. It's Rocket Pharma. Let me see the Discord. It should be discord.gg/Martin Shkreli, but let's see. No, I never looked at the other rocket. Just about to raise the price of Godel. Can't wait. Hate giving things away. The news section is about to be updated to have every newswire without any exceptions, and even more newswires than Bloomberg. I'm gonna raise it up. You know I know how to raise prices. Don't test me. A new price, you're gonna even like the new price, even though it's gonna be 5,000%. I don't think I'm gonna raise it that much, maybe double. All right, we're gonna look at Danon disease first. This is an extremely rare illness. It makes some other rare diseases look common. It's a gene therapy trying to restore cardiac function. They're trying to reduce left ventricular mass because left ventricle overcompensates. This is a pivotal study. 12 patients, pivotal study. Unbelievable, right? 12 people, no control group. APDS? It might be more rare. It might be more rare. Yeah, no, it's rare. It's much more rare, actually, I think. APDS, they did a control group, I think. This one's also super rare, LAD1. LAD1 makes all of these look super common. This number is wrong, by the way, but outside of that, these guys started the company, so they own 18 million shares, right? Franklin owns another 12, Wellington owns 9, Vanguard, Westfield, Maverick, T. Rowe, State Street, Henderson, Citadel. All right, that's Citigroup, Geode. Aha, Fraser and Boxer. Some of these guys don't update their filings, but yearly. So they may be already out of the stock. So the filings data that you're getting is stale. A lot of these guys are already out of the stock. So I got 80. I've got 80 million shares. There's only, I think there was 90 million shares outstanding. So I think the systems have it wrong or the SEC has it wrong, because here it said there were 90.956 million shares outstanding, and institutions reported 80. Let me look at that 10K again, or 10Q again. Oh, the 10Q is the right number. Yeah, I'd always double check all this stuff because it's often wrong. So let's see, 1.1, 1.1, 1.1, 946, 750, 695, 686, 677, 588, 570, 579, 561, 561, 549, 508, 476. 𝗏𝗏𝗘𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗘𝗢. Now we're at 88 out of 91. But again, a number of these have already sold, but the data is just not available yet. Yeah, some funds just report their filings annually. I'm not sure what allows them to do that, but they do it. And yeah, now you can see we have more than 100%, but it's roughly around 100%. I mean, if you add up all the rest, they're pretty small. So it's almost every share is accounted for. Let's get this money. Earnings season is about to be lit. Who's ready to turn up? Okay, there are actually more people with Dannon than I thought. Way more people than I thought. I thought Dannon was super rare. It is not super rare. How do they get 12 patient pivotal trial if there's 15,000 people? I thought this was like exquisitely rare. Good for them. Right now, the only cure for this disease is a heart transplant. It's brutal. Overall survival just 17 years. How do you tell the left ventricular mass of somebody? Not easy to measure. Got to be some kind of estimate. Let's see, I guess you could tell by the volume, stroke volume or something like that, right? What's U divided by S? So are there really that many people with this disease? I'm suspicious of 15 to 30,000. Usually there's more people than what the company says. But even if it's half as many people, that's a big number. Okay, this is interesting. So the Spanish, just for Spain, Dannon registry is 27 patients, okay? Now registries don't get every patient, right? No, I do software. I'm running a software company as we speak. So conservatively, let's double that. But let's look at the population of Spain. $48 million. So roughly 1 patient per million. So probably 1,000 people have this disease. That's a monster drug. Yeah, okay, so I like Rocket. I still like it. I've liked it for a long time. It's kind of not been a great stock. And a quick look at Moderna. Just a quick glance, quick peek. So 628 closed at 905.38. So the market cap of Lilly, because you got the shares outstanding over here. So you look at market cap over time, which is not the same thing as stock price over time. 776. $580.91. From 19 billion EV to 12 billion EV. It's like a 50% drop in EV. They do have a ton of cash, but not that much. They only have 11 billion in cash. So they go from number 36 drug company to like number 48. Yeah, there's definitely some signs that they may be getting approval. But here's the thing, I mean, it's not going to sell well. So like approval is more than priced in. Maybe it pops on approval, but it'll be right back down very quickly. So it's a pretty good short regardless. It just may not be a down 75% short unless they, the FDA says no, which it still could. They change their mind at the last minute all the time. Never know if somebody writes them a letter. We got the KP2 variant of SARS-CoV. KP2. Are you ready for that? Positive phase 3 results for HSV. Submit SBLA for US approval in 2024. Okay. So RSV, 𝗬𝗏𝗂𝗏. They get approval? Gonna spend 3 or 4 billion a year in R&D? Where's the revenue coming from? This is the big data. CMV. How do they vaccinate? Oh, they're vaccinating women that'll give immunity. I mean, this product alone, the CMV product's pretty big. So if all of the COVID is out of the way, which it seems to be, just something to be a little cognizant of. This cancer drug won't work. These two are very rare diseases, so I don't think that'll be a problem. Yeah, this KRAS, by the way, yeah, they're definitely going to be doing an offering. If Dusty Crevice is here or whatever, this KRAS vaccine is a really good example of like why the cancer vaccines don't work. Moderna has shut down a lot of programs. So 3.5 in revenue, and then compounded annual growth. 2025 revenue of 2.5 to 3 billion. Where is that going to come from? I got to take a look, Ian. Thanks for the look. It's a good idea. No, I mean, honestly, I'm leaning towards long mRNA, which is, they're saying they're going to do 3 billion in revenue. Where's that revenue going to come from? They got 2 drugs. Spikevax, which is COVID. Sure, I think we can all agree there's no revenue coming out of that. And then 𝗬𝗏𝗂𝗏 for RSV. Now let's look at the other RSV drugs. Matter of fact, you want to play this game, Moderna? Let's play this game. Let's play the game. Pfizer is a RSV vaccine and GSK has one. So Pfizer's is called Abrysvo. Yeah, they discontinued it. I mean, there's no way you can make a KRAS vaccine, unfortunately. Moderna stopped it. Other companies have tried it too. It's lost cause cancer vaccines. It's just hard to immunize. It's really hard to immunize against one individual molecule and have that work in cancer, because cancer is not infectious disease as much as we'd like it to be. All right, where is the Abrysvo? Okay, here's Abrysvo. So Abrysvo sold 1.1 billion trailing 12 months. Not bad. Yeah, it's hard to treat some molecules yeah, it's very hard to treat certain molecules, but I don't even think you could treat intracellular molecules easily. Like, so if the antigen is intracellular, then how does the T cell go get it? Kind of doesn't make sense. All right, usually after the market closes, there's a bunch of news, and this is sometimes called the tape for any of you guys who don't know. You watch the tape when the market closes so you can see what's going on. So here's the tape. Usually right after the market closes, there's a bunch of releases. Let's see here. When earnings season comes, this thing is like you can't even see RDL. I never heard of these guys. There's Crinetics doing a secondary. Short that real quick. Cardiol Therapeutics, US and Canada listed. Never heard of it. Sometimes nice to find new stocks this way too. Watching the tape. Okay, so Abrysvo does 1.1 billion. So what will this RNA vaccine do? 50, 100, 300. That's in its first year too. So that's kind of incredible result for Abrysvo. But let's look at the GSK one too. GSK, RSV, 𝗥𝗩𝗄𝗅𝗡𝗍𝒑. 1.5 billion for 𝗥𝗩𝗄𝗅𝗡𝗍𝒑. Not bad. 4:30 and 4:31, like 4:29 to 4:31 p.m. is usually a lot of news as well. Sometimes 4:15 as well. Marinus inducements. They're programmed to come out a certain time. You have call options on a $1 stock? Come on. The stock's a call option itself. Yeah, don't quite see how they do 3 billion. That's kind of reckless guidance for Moderna. 2.5 to 3.5 billion in revenue. And that's going to grow 25% a year. Gotta be lying. This cap. All cap. Sometimes you used to think if you announce the earnings date, that means you're not going to pre-announce your earnings. Zeta Global. How do we know Zeta Global? So is some of their revenue going to be flu? I don't know, man. So they would have to do like $1 billion there, 600 there. Somehow COVID would have to do like 500 or more. And then they'd have to have a new flu product do like 600. And then they would be close to the midpoint. Yeah, Pfizer's guidance was really crazy, right? I remember like streaming that and I was like, are these guys crazy? They think COVID revenue is going to go up? They're like, well, if you add this booster and that booster and this combination, our COVID revenue will go on forever. What? I mean, I would not underestimate that CMV drug. And again, even if they're $1 billion short on their guidance, which would be a lot, still a cheap stock. They'd have to be like really short on their guidance. Like really, really short. So Moderna may be getting attractive. I mean, remember, you can't make generics to mRNA, right? You cannot make a generic to mRNA. That's a big deal. Nobody's even figured out how to do that yet. They're barely figured out how to get them approved, let alone generics. So you're talking about a long time before generics come out, which is always good. So even at $1 billion in revenue, I think that's pretty bullish. I may have to buy Moderna stock. How terrible would that be? Dr. Fauci would be so happy. What? Really? You're gonna buy Moderna? Yes, Dr. Fauci. Why? Why do you care so much about Moderna? The compensation for Moderna's success is incidental. It really had nothing to do with my performance as a government employee. Please stop asking about that. I'm from Brooklyn. I'm a hustler. I am science. You do not question Dr. Fauci. Questioning me is questioning science. Make sure you guys sign up for Godel. Price is going up soon, adding every news wire very shortly. Real-time options, alerts, so many things coming. Lock in your price now before the price doubles. Get in early in this beta program. Great chat room full of some of the smartest guys on Wall Street. Get free stock picks by me. If you sign up to Godel, I will look at a stock for you. Do a thorough review. So make sure you sign up, godelterminal.com.